Yakuza Kiwami 2 is definitely my favorite Yakuza game. It has some of the most lovable characters in the entire franchise, a great storyline, and most of all, a new engine. This being the second game to be made using the Dragon engine. Now there are plenty of videos talking about whether or not the new engine is better or worse, but that's not really what I care about since this is what we're going to have either way. What bothers me is the new way Kiryu fights in this game, 6, and Gaiden. But before I can just start throwing out problems on why I don't like this version of Kiryu, I have to talk about my favorite version of Kiryu, that being Kiwami 1's. No surprise that Kiwami 1 mastered the Dragon style and is the main thing that I'm going to compare when looking at what should have been in the Dragon Engine games. From the moment you first see Dragon style, you can tell it's a revelation for Kiryu. He is putting together all of his forms and forming his own powerful style. This style reflects his tattoo, being powerful and intense but also somewhat elegant. In retrospective, it's basically just Brawler, but better and more refined. It's true that Brawler and Dragon are very similar, but the main difference between the two is just based on the elegance of it. Kiryu's Brawler is more wild and has more heat actions of him just lashing out and throwing his body weight behind a crap ton of punches. Dragon, while still being powerful, is a lot more than just throwing out random punches and backhands, but more elaborate strikes, which is why it makes different noises when you hit someone. This is what makes Dragon feel so special, and what makes it feel like this is like Kiryu at his strongest, because it just sounds like every punch just has this nice crunch to it. Especially when you're doing things like finishing holds. This is why I despise the Dragon Engine version of Kiryu's iconic style. It feels more like Brawler and not something refined like a dragon. Even taking something as small as the way he stands. In Kiwami 1, he's strong, tall, constantly fixing his stance. And in Kiwami 2, it just looks normal, like his Brawler one. Okay, that's kind of a nitpick, but stuff like light, heavy, where he kicks out your leg and sends you flying with another kick, in my opinion, just isn't something that Dragon would be doing. In Kiwami 1, the double attack from 2's is a gut punch and a knee. It's all one clean animation with no wasted movements. But why does the double kicks have this twirl? It just doesn't feel martial arty. It feels something more like Brawler. Now, of course, there is nothing wrong with having just straight up moves be copied into the Dragon style, since it makes it feel like Kiryu actually learned how to use all of his styles at once. But one thing I will never forgive them is what they did to the finishing holds. Each finishing hold in 1 has its own purpose. The first one always threw them down, face down. The second one always can knock them into other people. The third one spins in a circle. And the fourth one is a big slam that does the most. But in 2, there is only 2 of them. Either with the double finisher after you kick their leg, you'll pick them up, and it's kind of a different animation, but it's the same purpose. And the other one is just you grab their leg, and that's it. So they lost all the personality and purpose and all do the same thing now. Now, it's like, this is a staple move since the original Yakuza game back on the PS2. And then they just completely butchered it. Now, what about Extreme Heat Mode, you may ask? Well, I think it's pretty cool. While it does kind of lose its charm quickly and is mostly just a way to spam overpowered heat actions, it does have completely unique heat actions and ones that I do think fit the Dragon style very well. And as much as I love the slow-mo hits and all the big punches and all the kicks and stuff, it doesn't really make up for the fact that the combat itself in this game isn't that great. I found myself only playing Kiwami 2 a couple of times, and I've never really replayed Gaiden or 6 since I just don't enjoy the style that much. And I know they slowly made it better, and Gaiden brought back a lot of things, like they added triple finishers and added back the Brawler's resolute throw and the counter and stuff. But it isn't enough for me to play the games again. The story is amazing. I love all the fights and stuff, and on my first playthrough I really liked it. But as I came to grow accustomed to the old style, and again, I'm not the biggest Dragon Engine fan, so of course this is all my opinion, and that's kind of all I have to say. So, see you later.